John, where are you out of? What state?
I'm here in San Diego, California.
Oh, nice. Are you currently wholesaling right now?
Kind of getting into the gist of it. Not necessarily successful in it, but trying to, I guess, get into it, doing calls, dialing, and all.
Yeah, perfect. That's how you start. I'm telling you. That's how you start. Awesome. And then Blessing, how you doing?
Hi, TC. Just like the previous caller, I basically have just started. I'm looking into it. I'm learning, but I'm diving deep and just looking at markets in and around the Jersey area. I am in Jersey.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Have you been on before?
Yes, I have one time.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And Roselle, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Wonderful. Which state are you in?
Delaware.
Okay, awesome. Have you been wholesaling? Have you done any deals yet?
Haven't done my first deal yet, but I've been working diligently for the last month or two.
Awesome. The first one's the best.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
My first one was $2,500. I was so excited.
Hey, I'd be happy to get anything at this point.
Exactly.
You know, I need proof of, of the process. I need to see it really come to. I got a great list. I have tools and I have some resources. It's time to start, but
Yeah.
it just hasn't happened yet.
Awesome. It will. Yeah. You just gotta catch them, at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a lot of times, like, let me ask you a question. When you call somebody, how do you open up your call?
A typical greeting is I'll just let them know. I usually address them by their first name if I have the information. And I'll say, hey, William, hi, my name is Roz. I was riding through the neighborhood and I was interested in buying some property in that neighborhood. And I wanted to know if you would be available to discuss qualifying to get a cash offer for your home.
Mm-hmm.
And just see what they say. They'll either say yes, no, or maybe. Just based on their response. If they're like, no, I'm not interested, I was like, well, do you know of any other properties, especially if it's a rental situation? I'd ask them, do they have any other properties available? Or if they know of anyone in the neighborhood that may have a property that's available.
Mm-hmm.
I just try to keep the conversation going just so I can kind of get a little bit more detail.
Yep. It sounds good. We're not going to force them to sell a house, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You can't do that. And one thing you might want to say, because you're newer, you can always say, hi, my name's Roz. You go, hey, William, how you doing? My name's Roz. I'm an investor, and you could tell I work with a group of investors, and we're looking to buy 4 or 5 more houses in the next 30 to 45 days in your area. And that's why I was reaching out, just to see if you were in the market, for a fair cash offer.
Okay.
Right. When you say it's a group of investors, that means a lot of different things. You got a way to say, well, let me talk to my partner. Let me do this. It just makes it look a little bit bigger.
Okay.
And that way, if you wholesale it out, it's one of your investors, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of a thing. So just something you could always try that also,
Okay.
because they're gonna, again, we're looking for people that have problems, situations that we're trying to solve for them. That's number one. Because if someone has a pretty house, has no problems, don't really need to sell it, it's like a 1% chance they're gonna it's like probably close to a 0% chance they're gonna do anything. Right. So that's why
I've been trying to focus on absentees, some vacant homes. I definitely have quite a few on my list that were boarded up or look like they are vacant at this time. to try to be slightly easier pickings. I actually have a list that I was using Flipster with Jerry Norton, and so I have a huge list. Plus, I actually go out driving for dollars as well.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about today, like the 3 ways or 3 easy steps to get your first deal. And that was driving for dollars is number 1. Okay. Where you just, if anyone doesn't know what that is, you drive around the neighborhood, pick a neighborhood, and you look for houses that have no pride of ownership, right? Ugly houses and vacant houses, bad roofs, high grass, just eyesore type properties that haven't been fixed up in the last 20 years. And you write down the address, and then you skip trace them. I am having very good success with whitepages.com, the premium version. That's what I like using right now. Okay. But I tried batch. I got batch skip tracing. I use that. And I use Ben Verified. And there's other, they're all about the same, you know, they're 75% good, right? But I've been having better success with the White Pages Premium, and that I used to use it, but that's what I've been doing lately. So it doesn't matter what you use but if you do get the right person, like if you skip trace him, name is William Johnson, and you know the voicemail says William, you're gold there. So you want to make sure you reach that person, either not that time, but you might reach them, you might text them the next day, right? So I would always, when I call somebody, I do a double tap, where if I call William Jones and he doesn't answer, I hang up and I call him right back again. You would be surprised how many people answer on that second call.
Okay.
And you can always send them a text message. You can always leave them a voicemail. Hi, Mr. Jones, how you doing? My name's Todd. I got some great news from you. I got a property in your neighborhood. I need you to call me and just hang up. Act like you're just lost connection. Okay. And you'll see that they're gonna call you. They're gonna see it on the caller ID. They're gonna listen to it, and then they're gonna call you back to see why did you call them.
Okay.
They're gonna be anxious about it.
I also send out mailers if I don't get an answer today. You know, I just kind of put my list out there and tried to force myself to sit down and hit 25, whatever time I had for that day. But if I didn't get a call or an answer, or I got a wrong phone number, I sent out a mailer to the address. And I also skip trace the address, because the absentee owner sometimes, of course, have a different address. So I was able to skip trace the different address.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's a good way. I do the same thing. I send out a postcard there. Yeah, so absentee homeowners is my favorite list again. And that means that, like you said, they don't live in the property. It's most likely a rental property. And so that's like that's like driving for dollars and absentee homeowners. Those are my favorite 2 right there. And I work pre-foreclosures and foreclosures.
Okay.
There's so many different channels that someone could work, but you know, I would say find 1 or 2 that you like and try to master those. That would be my suggestion before you move on to another channel.
Yeah, I think I get overwhelmed sometimes with the different opportunities, because I run into foreclosures, I run into different things, and then I start thinking, oh God, what happens if they say yes? Do I know how to work the process of a pre-foreclosure in my area? Like, I don't have all the details.
Right.
So I try to stick with absentee, because my hope is, the worst case scenario is they have a tenant in there that I might have to get out or keep, depending on how the property is. So I could probably figure that out a lot easier.
For sure. Yep. Right. I've been working I'm going to the foreclosure auction tomorrow morning. I go every week and I work all 4 counties every week. And so I know foreclosure auction and pre-foreclosures like the back of my hand, and that's what you would get to, if you want to. Once you start getting some deals and you start learning, oh, okay, this is how you might meet someone who works it in your area and they might teach you a little bit, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, so that's smart that don't even mess with those if you're not sure yet, right? For sure. But what I wanted to talk to everyone about and answer any questions that you might have, just to let you know a little bit about myself. I've been in the real estate. I was in the mortgage business. Geez, probably going on 30 years. I'm a licensed real estate agent since 2012. I have a few houses listed, but I've been wholesaling going on 6 years. And I might have had an advantage to some people because I kind of knew the business of the area that I'm in. I'm in the Detroit, Michigan local market, and I worked for a mortgage company for 22 years. And the people I worked for, we owned over 100 rentals in the city of Detroit, and I made sure we managed those. I helped them buy houses, I found houses, and I ran a mortgage company. So I had the on-the-job training, but I never heard of wholesaling before. But I knew about appraisals and titles and closings and things like that, and rentals and flipping. I just never heard of wholesaling. Heard it on the radio. Fan Merrill was on the radio saying he's coming to Detroit for the weekend, $200 or whatever. I went for that weekend. It changed my mind. I couldn't believe it. How can wholesaling? It just didn't seem real to me. So they told me to go to a meetup in the local area. I didn't even know there was such a thing. And I looked up some meetups, went to some local meetups, and within 3 months from the time I went to Fan Merrill, I quit my job of 22 years and went on my own as a wholesaler. Okay, so not saying it was
My hero. That's what I'm going for.
I'm not telling you guys to just do that. It wasn't easy, but it was just the time for me to do that. And since the last 6 years, I had 12, 13 flips at one time going on in the city of Detroit. We opened up a management company. We're managing properties in the city of Detroit. We had like 70 properties we managed. And I was wholesaling full time. So we're doing all that, and had a partnership that we split up and broke away. And then I said, look, I'm just gonna wholesale. And I'm fixing and flipping a house currently right now. So I'm trying to do one at a time. So one, maybe two at a time at the most. And they gotta be really, really good deals for me. If not, I'm gonna wholesale it. I own a couple rental properties, and eventually I'm gonna own more rental properties. But I own a dumpster company, so I do run a dumpster company also, where I have 13 dumpsters, I think it is. Instead of buying rentals, what I do now is buy dumpsters. And every time a dumpster moves, I make money. So once I get up to 25, 30 dumpsters, then I'll probably start buying rental properties again, unless they fall in my lap and it's just a deal that I cannot pass up. I will buy it then, or sell or finance it is what I love doing. But so anyways, I work with a lot of wholesalers. I JV, I squat up with a lot of wholesalers. I get a lot of people that call me and DM me and text me, and they say, look, can you teach me how to wholesale? Can you do this? Can you do that? And that's why I wanted to start a wholesale mentoring program, done a little bit differently. And I want to go over that today, explain it, answer any questions that someone may have. And if it fits, great. If not, that's perfectly fine. We do give a lot of free information out every week. I got a YouTube page. National Mark Maupin has a YouTube page, and we put a lot of content on that there, you know, a lot of different meetups that we've done on Zoom or live. So I'm actually doing a live one on September 20th also. But here is the agenda for the mentoring program. I'm going to share my screen and explain it. I'm going to go over a couple of them and then see if anyone has any questions here. Okay. And all right. So to me, the most important thing is the 2 weekly group Zoom calls that's recorded. And I've been in mentoring programs. I'm in a high level mentoring program currently. And the group Zoom calls, you learn a lot, not just from me, but you're going to learn a lot or listening to other people, what they're doing and not doing, and the different advice that we give out, and how we help them. Okay, so that is really the most important. So that's going to happen twice a week. It's recorded. It lasts an hour per session, and we also have a private Facebook community that only the people in the mentoring program belong to. And in there, you'll find all kinds of information: purchase agreements, assignment agreements, videos. You can ask questions. You can talk to other people in the Facebook community, and even help each other out, or if you have a deal that, you know, things like that. So that is very beneficial also. Anyone have any input or questions so far? All right, perfect. All right. And then also we're gonna have a quarterly, that this is gonna be recorded also, but it's gonna be, if you're local here in Michigan, it's gonna be every quarter. We're gonna have an in-person group training class, all right, that we're gonna meet up. And we're also gonna have a quarterly fix and flip walkthrough that will be recorded, where we're gonna just go to a fix and flip and walk through it, okay? And also a wholesale deal, same situation. We're going to do that quarterly. It's going to be videotaped. I'm going to do some live videotaping of deals that I got under contract, or maybe even a wholesale deal when I go to an appointment, or if I go into a showing and I'm showing the property. There's a special way, or a way that I would want someone to follow, or that I follow. And there's reasons why I do it a certain way when I show a property to investors, when the seller is present at the house. So there's a way of doing that, so you could keep control of the situation there. And we're gonna do, like I said, a lot of videos, because a lot of people, well, it's just good to watch how someone else does it, and you might learn something from it, like 1 or 2 things out of it, and another couple of things you might say, this doesn't work for me, and you know, and you might say, okay, that but this thing makes sense, I'm going to add that to it. And that's how I learned, you know, myself. And then different ways of getting wholesale deals, like we were talking already, the driving for dollars, using bandit signs might be a strategy. I know Mark Maupin and I, we do a lot of work together. We're doing this mentoring program together, and I know he's definitely been doing bandit signs. He knows the ins and outs of that. I'm going to tape how to talk to sellers. I'm going to record a lot of my calling sessions. When I call a customer, cold call somebody, I'm going to have those on, you know, recordings. They'll be uploaded in the Facebook community group page and things like that. So we're going to do a lot of that. Transaction coordinating, how to get a deal closed is very important. I used to have a transaction coordinator, but I found out it's just as effective if you're dealing with a title company that you always use, that's wholesale friendly. They usually will assign a transaction coordinator closer to you, all right, that's handling your deal. So they could do most of the work for you and help you through it, especially if you're brand new. Okay. Purchase agreements, assignment agreements, JV agreements, all those type of documentation. I would upload those in our group. You know, if you're in a different state, you want to talk to the title company and see if they have one that you might use that they approve, because they have lawyers that work for the title companies. So as long as the title company is going to accept it, I'm sure it's going to be, you know, they're going to have their lawyers look at it, make sure it's right. Okay. And just the basic things, how to figure out the ARV, how to figure out what you should offer somebody, how to estimate the repair cost, and, you know, the maximum allowable offer, you know, the difference, you know, it's different from a fix and flip to a buy and hold. Okay. And then the different strategies that, you know, that someone might be doing, like seller financing, subject tos, things like that. Okay. So I don't know if you've seen this right here, but the cost is not actually $9.95 per month. This is, we just rolled this out, and what this, we're gonna, we have a special going on. It's gonna be $3.95 per month. Okay. And that's gonna be for the first 10 people. There's no long-term contracts. It's automatic monthly billing. You could cancel at any time. You just got to give us a 30-day cancellation notice. Okay, so it's actually a special. And again, this is not for everybody. I understand that. And but it's definitely, if you're brand new, it might be something good for you. Or if you've only done one or two, you know, we're trying to get you. My objective would be, how can you consistently do, if you haven't done any deals, how can you consistently, how can you get your first deal, first of all? Then how can you do one deal every month? How can you do one deal every week, right? And now that's 4 deals a month. And then how can you double that, right? Add on to that. So that's pretty much everyone, you know, everyone's situation is different. Some people want to work with one person or maybe 2 people. Some people might want to grow a big team and have them do it. I've tried it all. Okay. No ways right or wrong. It depends on the individual. Okay. My suggestion is, my personal opinion is to stay lean as possible. Okay. Try to, you know, not to have a big overhead. You know, try to stay lean. You don't have to do as many deals. If you have a big team, sometimes you gotta do 4 or 5 deals just to pay for that month. Okay. And overhead and the month in mailings and VAs and all that good stuff. So, all right. Any questions at all so far? We got to have some questions.
Actually,
So
Todd, I do have a question.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I just didn't hear the name of the Facebook group. What was the name of the Facebook group?
Well, the Facebook group will be just for the people in the mentoring program.
Oh, okay, so it is specifically
Special,
this one?
yeah, you'll get a special invite. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a private Facebook group. And that alone, that's where you'll get a lot of information. I have my own personal, anyone could join Facebook group, but other people just put deals in it and things like that. This is totally, this private Facebook community will be for training purposes, helping people out, getting information, answering questions and things like that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
The mentoring program that you have, for me, I know I'm a better learner when I have someone actually like walking me through the process or me actually seeing them do the process, because I have all the tools. I have the list makers, I have batch find, I have all of that stuff. And I still feel like there's a little bit of insecurity about going out and actually doing it.
Sure.
So, you know, I do make the calls, I make the cold calls, but then the next thing you hear, somebody says you should get a dialer. And I'm like, I'm already spending an awful lot of money per month and haven't landed my first deal. So I need to know how to just use my fingers and make it happen. And then I can expand on that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that about the dialer. I've had many of dialers, and there's nothing to me like dialing the phone, working that one lead that's in front of me. And you know, all I need is and you get, if you have a good list or a motivated list, you know, that, you know, foreclosures, I don't want to blast through those. I want to be able to take notes and things like that. I use a free CRM. I could show you anyone I can help you set that up through Podio. I've paid for CRMs, and I'm not saying it's bad, but again, we're trying to stay as lean as possible, especially in the beginning, like you said, you know, because it's wholesaling. You know how people say it doesn't cost anything to wholesale, but it costs a little bit. It don't have to cost a lot, but you know, it costs a little bit for sure. Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much. But again, Roz, I agree. Just by, you know, being on those group sessions, and maybe I could help you one little thing that says boom, or just the motivation. I know sounds like you're taking action. We're gonna also, maybe we'll do some cold calling. We'll figure out how we could do some live cold calling together, like as a group. You know, we're making phone calls, and you know, you can hear other people talking while you're dialing. You can mute it. You could make your deals, and it's kind of like we're doing it all together. I used to do a lot of that in person with a bunch of wholesalers. We used to meet and then just do live sessions. I used to call it the boiler room, and it was a lot of, you might hear someone in the background say something. You say, "Oh yeah, that was a good opening," you know. That was a good this, that was a good that, or I wouldn't have said that, and you can help each other out and stuff like that. So yeah, for sure. But anyone, if you're interested in signing up, you know, you could just let me know now. You can send me a message on, you know, go to your chat, and you could just send me a direct message on the chat. I could send you the form. We're actually going to start Monday. Is going to be our first group session. And I'm really excited about this and looking forward to, you know, making this happen, making a difference and helping people out. And, you know, I'm a firm believer in anything you teach, you become better. And that's why, that's why I do it also, to give back, and also I become better at my own craft, I believe, you know.
Todd, don't you also have access to buyers in any given market?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. I'm definitely not just in a couple of different ways, Mark, is one is the mastermind groups that I've been affiliated with, that I created relationship. I still do business with those guys or bring deals to them, and a lot of them are national. And so I do have buyers all over or know people pretty much everywhere. So absolutely.
So getting started, my name's Mark Maupin, and I've been in this game a long time, bought and sold over 3,500 homes. I run some national programs for real estate donations, and I'm a major internet marketer, and I'm a lead generator, and I work with Todd because I've researched pretty much all the wholesalers in the Detroit metropolitan area, and he's the best. And the reason he's the best is because he has buyers. And so I can find a deal, look at it. In a lot of cases, I just turn it over to Todd, and then we end up being a joint venture together doing it, which is one of the things inside the mentoring program. If you bring your deals to him and want to be, and this reason I'm saying this is because of the question you just raised, like you haven't closed your first deal, then you've got a coach with you that's vested in it, but he'll end up splitting the profits with you, but you've got a closed deal. And I'm closing a lot of deals, and the majority of them are with Todd. Just had one where I got it and had a tenant you couldn't get in. He was able to go meet the tenant, get into the properties, got it being sold to an out-of-state investor for a good profit. I've got another one that's pending. It'll be the largest wholesale deal I've ever done, where there's 4 of us involved. Maybe it's 5. Anyway, the wholesale profit for each partner, it'll be $50,000 when we close it. So there's a lot of real value, and the value I can bring you guys is in whatever your area is. I have a team of 13 people, and we can rapidly join every Facebook group in your state, and I may already be members of them because I'm doing it nationwide. So I'm able to get your deals spread throughout the entire US in one day, get them in front of in excess of 1 million investors in one day. So so that's just a little bit about me.
Yeah, that's very, yeah. And I don't even think I mentioned, but that's another whole, what I'll be teaching is, and helping people is how to find buyers in your area. That's really, it don't even have to be in your area, because depending on where you live, like I'm in the Detroit market, we have a lot of out of state, out of the country buyers. I sell houses to people that live in Israel, Argentina, Canada, and along with California, Miami. They come here, and they actually come here to visit, and I meet with them, and I sell them deals all the time. So depending on where you're at, if you're on the West Coast, you might have to do some virtual wholesaling, if you're in California. Not necessarily, but you may have to. So that's another, that's one thing I know Mark can help with, is national buyers. We were just talking about that today, figuring out how we're gonna start doing some more of that, getting some more buyers, because the key in this game, in my opinion, is the buyers. I mean, I don't want you to go look for buyers first. You always should be looking for buyers every day, but once you get, I just got set up with a buyer here in Michigan, Detroit area. They want to buy 50 houses a month, rental properties in a certain area, and they pay, when I could sell it for 50 grand, they're paying around 70 grand. So it's even better, so they're bigger buyers. So just things like that. So, but I know we got a couple people that I spoke with that already joined. I know we're not going to have a ton of people, you know, for this. Eventually, once we start getting more people, the price is I know it's gonna go up after we get a certain amount. Maybe after we get the first 10 to come in, then we're gonna raise the prices or the price on it. But yeah, you know, if anyone, I don't know, I can also put I'm sure you guys have my information. I'll put my information in the chat also, and you can reach out at any time. But any other questions or concerns that you might have?
First of all, new wholesalers are kind of nervous about getting under contract without being someone available ready. Try focus into a buyer that information and what looking for, you know, just kind of figuring out, you know, how much did they move in this area, just to kind of build a relationship overall. And just kind of keep it on the back burner, but still focus on getting that contract first.
Yeah, Roz, you know, it sounded like a computer. It was going in and out, but I can hear you pretty good right now. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Can you say it again, please?
Yeah, I'm sorry, because I'm en route. I was saying that I didn't want to focus on finding a buyer first, because I know they say just work on the contract, the buyers will come. But in the process of looking for properties, I found myself running into buyers.
Yeah.
And then I would just stop and ask them and get information from them, like, what are you looking for? What properties are you investing in? How many do you do a month? So I could generate at least a relationship with a buyer. So I have maybe 4 people in this area that are active buyers.
Mm-hmm.
And I started paying attention to who's beating me to some of the houses that I'm finding, because clearly they're a buyer. So I try to contact them and get them on a list as well. I just haven't been able to, you know, make the transaction go all the way yet.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I would not go look for buyers like you said. If you have a good deal, if the buyers are going to come, and as you're just going on with your day and working, you're going to find buyers organically, you know. And there's so many ways to really, if you spent an hour a day looking for buyers, I'm telling you, within 30 days, you should have over 1,000 buyers just by an hour a day. It's not difficult, but doing it right and being and kind of like keeping it organized is a key also. And I learned that the hard way, trust me. You know, I didn't do that for the first 4 years. You know, I just threw them on a list and that was it. But having like a VIP buyers list, and I always tell them, this is, you know, I'm giving you first look the first 24 hours. And then I have, you know, I might have 100 people on that. And then I got thousands on the other one, you know. Yep, that's great. Awesome. I got your message, Miss Meyer. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I know sometimes the timing isn't right or when it's right, but I can't guarantee the price is going to be that price, but either way, I mean, if you ever checked out some mentoring programs, you're going to see that, you know, they're all a little bit different. They're, you know, different prices. And, you know, I had one that was thousands, like close to 5,000 a month. So, and it is what it is. For sure. All right. Anything else, Mark, that you wanted to add?
Unmute myself here. No, other than when I first got into this game, I had a mentor. If I hadn't had She was a long-term experienced realtor. And if I hadn't had her, I wouldn't have got off to the start I got. So, and one of the things is in whatever market you're in, you need to look for whoever the key player is that, you can team up with. Todd can help you find that. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep. For sure, for sure. All right. Well, let's see. Any other, let's talk about some wholesaling. See if we got any other questions. Any way I can help anybody? Any problems that we could maybe solve?
If I currently have a list of maybe 300 properties, should I continue to keep driving for dollars or just keep working the list that I have?
If that's a good question. I would drive for dollars when it's not a good time, depending on your full schedule, when you can't be on the phones, like during certain hours, I would be driving for dollars or doing the busy work then. Don't do busy work. Don't do driving for dollars when you should in the middle of the day or at 5 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock at night. That's when you should be on the phones. Okay, that you should be on the phones as much as possible. Make sure, big key is make sure you do your follow-ups. A lot of times you got to touch people 5, 6, 7, 8 times before you get a deal with them. My best deals are the ones that I've been working for 6 months. It's great to get a deal. You call them, they say, yes, I'm interested. You make an appointment, you go out there, they sign a contract. But be honest with you, most of your deals are going to take them. They got to like you. You got to meet them. You got to catch them at the right time. A lot of times when people have situations, they have problems, they're not going to be, they might, when they say to call back and you call them, they don't answer. And then you say, oh yeah, send me this again, I'll call you. You just got to stay persistent and stay on top of them. And make sure when you say you're gonna call them back, you call them back at that time. How do I do that? I go on my iPhone and I say set an alarm for Tuesday at 10 a.m. to call Mrs. Jones, and then it'll automatically put that alarm in there and it'll have her name on there. So I'll remember myself that on Tuesday at 10 a.m., I got to call Mrs. Jones, right? So I kind of set my alarm. I do have a calendar. I put it in. I put it in a few different spots, but the alarm on my phone is a key to me, because that way I won't forget or it slaps me in the face to call them. All right. So follow-ups are key.
My very best leads come off of Google Maps, like create maps that say cash for your house. So when people are doing a Google search and they're saying that or sell my house fast or whatever their keyword is, my map location will pop up with a phone number. So when I get a call off a map location, it's genuinely a very motivated seller. Don't ask me why, but the quality of the leads are better. My next best leads, and remember, what I'm trying to do is where I'm not out beating the phones for people, but I'm getting the people to call me, is I do a ton of bandit signs, which there's a whole art to doing that and where you put them up, what they say. And so like I was in the Flint market today and we're putting signs up, but we're also meeting people who called off those signs. And we show our appointments on a Google map, which then shows how close those people are to us. So we're putting up the signs and they're calling us and we're able to maximize our time. And we'll do that run once a week. And then the next thing I've got my exit strategy, which is basically Todd. So I'm able to discuss it with him. I'm able to put deals together. So those are some of the things we'll show you how to do. you know, if you're interested, but that might be some good ideas for you to do in your market. And on our YouTube channel, we give some tips on how to do the bandit signs and stuff. So
Awesome. And for right now, the group sessions, I'm gonna do Mondays and Fridays. Are gonna be the days for the calls at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is what I'm thinking right now. But once I get a few people in, we'll kind of try to see what works for everybody. But that's what I'm thinking right now. We'll motivate someone in the first day of the week, and then on Fridays we got, you know, everyone's a little bit different. Some people don't work weekends, but I'm always working Saturdays, Sundays, unfortunately. Yeah. Let's see what else. Okay. Yeah. So again, and I don't, you know, so it's just how can, whatever you're doing now, how can we work with you to make it better, you know, to make it consistent. You know, if you're doing one deal a month, how can you do 2 deals a month consistently? And how can you do 3 deals a month, 4 deals a month? So, and let's see if there's any other messages. Yeah, Miss Mar, we will talk about that, about the timing. Let's see.
everything gets recorded on the events and posted. So if you miss something, it'll be in the,
It'll be on the Facebook,
it'll be in a private YouTube channel too.
yeah. So some people might not be able to get on it, but they'll be on Facebook listening to it and things like that. So, but yeah. Let's see. Rami, you said you have a contract now. What should I be doing? I just started Friday, by the way. You mean you just locked it up Friday? I don't know if you could hear me.
All right, can you hear me?
I can. Awesome.
All right, yeah. How you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Awesome. All right, so yeah, I mean, I just got it on Saturday. I got it signed on Saturday.
Okay.
I spoke to the seller on Friday, and I got it locked on Saturday. And
Great.
I mean, now I want to know, like, basically, what should I do? What's my next
Sure.
next step now?
Well, let me ask you a couple questions about the deal, okay? How much did you lock it up for?
23,500.
Okay. Is it vacant? Is it rented? Is there a squatter in the house? Does he live there?
They just moved out.
So it's vacant, right?
That's correct, yes.
And the owner lived there?
They used to live there. They don't live there no more. They live 45 minutes away.
Okay. But the seller just moved out. Is that correct? Or the tenant?
The seller.
The seller. Okay. So the house is decent, right?
It's basically it needs a lot of work. Not a lot, but it does need work.
Okay. Gotcha. And then let's say it's fixed up pretty. It's very nice. What is it worth?
Well, property around there, we the same basically, well, they going for like 90,000 around there.
Okay. So it sounds like you got a really good deal, right? You know, let me ask you a question. Your opinion. what do you want to, what are you thinking about putting it out at?
I was thinking about doing like 38 just to get rid of it fast.
Yeah, that's
But
smart.
I would like to get a second opinion from
No, I think that's smart because, you know, you can't, is this your first deal?
that is my first deal, correct?
Yeah, let's get you some money, right? Um, I would even maybe do 39.9 or something like that, just under 40,000. You got a little bit of wiggle room, right?
Right.
And what state are you in?
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Okay. Do they have wholesalers in Pennsylvania, like a big group and things like that?
They should. I haven't looked around because I got a friend of mine that is doing it already, and he's already flipping
Mhm.
and doing all kind of fun stuff. So basically, when I get stuck on situations like this, because I mean, I've been talking to seller, and this is the first one I literally just locked in. So he's basically like helping me through the steps. But I mean, I'm looking on my own way as well.
Yeah, so I would go onto Facebook and look for local um, groups like for wholesaling where people are buying houses. We got 15 in my area, 15 of them. So, and that's where you want to pitch out the deal. You would be perfect for the mentoring program because I could show you every step of what to do, you know. Um, but here's what I'm gonna show you. Let me share my screen one more time. New share, okay. All right, can you see my screen here?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so here's what I would put, like, this is a template I use, all right? Like off market, single family property available via assignment. I'll put the address in here. Sale price, 39.9, right? And then here you could put whatever, something special. You could put houses in the area are selling for fixed up 90,000, great rental potential, possible flip potential, right? The quick flip potential. There's all kinds of things. And I'll write a little bit like if it's a bungalow or if it's a ranch or if it's a colonial, how many bedrooms, how many baths, square feet, if it has a basement, some good things about it, cars, vacant, additional photos. Did you take photos of the property already?
That is correct. Yes, I got a video and
Right.
I got about 25 pictures.
Okay. You don't have enough pictures. You should have 60, 70, 80 pictures. Okay. Next time. You want to
Yeah, I
take,
mean, I can definitely go back and take some more.
but it sounds like you have a way to get back into the house, right?
That is correct. I made them put a lock box with the key on it.
You did a good job. Perfect. So
Thank you.
yeah. And then you could and you're gonna wanna, get people interested and make an appointment for 4 or 5 people to come out at the same time. Okay.
All right.
And then I put cash only, buyer to assume the belongings and debris. We are selling our assignable interest, buyers to pay all closing costs. And then I put some information in here. Okay. And then I put it on Facebook with a picture of the property. And I'll put it in a bunch of different groups and I'll email blast it to my buyers list and things like that. So, but that's what I would say. And there's all other ways of finding buyers. You could call property management companies in your area. They're managing for investors and things like that. But it sounds like you got it at a good price. They were living in the house. It needs work, but you got it cheap enough. Even at 40,000, let's say someone puts 20 into it, it's worth 90. They could refinance and pull all their money back and have a nice rental. They could put 60 into it and make a quick 20 grand, something like that, So there's a lot of possibilities there, for you. So that's what I would do I guess the next step is to search Facebook and find out if there's any meetups around and see how see how you could find, find some buyers.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good job.
Yeah, congratulations. It sounds like you just got a win.
Yep, yep. Did you order title yet?
Not yet.
Okay, you should order title right away.
All right. I'll get right on that.
Yeah, find a investor, wholesale friendly title company. They shouldn't I mean, I never paid title up front. When you got a deal under contract, you're signing it. Do you work with wholesalers? You could check on Facebook and ask some other wholesalers in your area, who do they like using, blah, 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 because you want everything to be smooth, with them, because you get excited, you got a deal under contract, but what if it comes back and the title's jacked up, right? So one step at a time. But
all right. Yeah, I got one in mind because my friend, like I said, he'd been doing it, so he'd been using one locally.
okay.
So I'm definitely gonna go with them because I mean he's been doing it with them and everything goes smooth. So I'd rather just.
Well, make sure they know you're gonna assign it, okay? And they're okay with it, all right? Before you get too far, that'll be my first conversation. Say, my friend Johnny, he told me he referred me to you, and I'm a wholesaler and I got a deal under contract and I'm gonna assign it to another buyer. Are you familiar with that? And do you work with a lot of wholesalers? If they say, I don't know, then you find somebody else. Okay?
Got it. Thank you.
Yep, yep. Awesome. All right, well, I'm gonna put in the comments, everyone, you might know it already. Let me find it. Oh, am I still sharing it? Hang on 1 second. Let me stop share this. All right, chat. My name. Hang on. Mark, do you want to put your information in there also? Or did you already? You probably did. Oop. Got my cell phone in here. Email. And my Facebook page, TC Deals Detroit, is my Facebook page. All right, but I appreciate everyone coming on, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions, if you want to get some more information about the mentoring program, or if you want to get it started.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi, I'm sorry. I know you're wrapping up. I have a quick question, based off of what you just shared. So basically, with the guy that just, got his first contract, congratulations to you. My question is in line with that. So basically, when you're doing this blasting, trying to get people in on the deal, basically find buyers, and you have the address there, is there a likelihood of a potential buyer or buyers in the area, other investors circumventing your contract and reaching out to trying to hunt down the property, basically, despite the fact that you have it on the contract?
Yeah. So my advice would be, if that would be someone's fear, I always put the address when I pitch out the deal to the world. I'll put the address out there. No one's gonna. I don't know. I don't remember the last time someone tried to reach out with the seller. Those people that do that, they're not going to be in business long. Because if someone stole my deal like that, I would find them. I would find out who bought it at the end of the day. I'll figure it out, but you could put a claim of interest on the property. Like, Rami, I'm not sure if I said your first name correctly, but you could do a claim of interest on the property and record it with the county, and that clouds the title. So if someone tries to steal that deal and they order title on that property, they're gonna see that you have a claim of interest on the property. As long as your purchase agreement that they signed states you can file a claim of interest, you could do that. Like in my purchase agreement, it states that I'm allowed to file a claim of interest. Okay, so if I think someone's trying to go around me or the seller's trying to sell it to someone else, I will file a claim of interest.
We have a deal that's closing this Friday where somebody did go around us, but we had the claim of interest filed. So now the only way they can close their deal is to pay us. So we're picking up a check, but that's going to vary from state to state. So you got to check with your local title company to make sure you're not, that you can file a claim of interest in the state of Michigan where we are. We have to have it in our purchase agreement that they've agreed to that. So when we're writing the deal up with the seller, it's in there that we have the right to file a claim of interest. So, but we don't file that claim, just like Todd said, but if we smell a snake, then we'll file it. So, and then they got to deal with us.
That's really smart, to have that going in the purchase contract. And that would be something that can be done even when you have an assignable, when you're trying to get you only have an assignable interest in the property. You're basically not buying.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good reason to have a coach.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.